Shemar James is one of the most intriguing young linebackers the Dallas Cowboys have brought in, a player who blends rare athleticism, leadership, and a deep passion for the game. Hailing from Mobile, Alabama, James was a standout in multiple sports: football, track, and basketball, and was rated the number 6 linebacker in the nation, with offers from powerhouse programs like Alabama, Georgia, and Florida State. Ultimately, he committed to the University of Florida, where he became a consistent presence in the Gators' defense. Even though he didn't play his final year at his former high school, he arrived at Florida determined to prove himself and quickly earned the respect of coaches and teammates. Over 3 seasons, he started 25 games, recorded 64 tackles, logged 2 sacks, and forced a fumble in the 2024 season alone. But beyond the stats, what really stands out is the way James carries himself. He was a team captain, a leader in the locker room, and someone who has dreamed his whole life of putting on the star. You could hear that passion when he shared the moment he learned he was becoming a Cowboy. He was on the phone as the Cardinals were on the clock. But before the call ended, his mom was already screaming from the other room that Dallas had traded up to get him. He described it as a dream come true, and you could feel how much it meant for his whole family, who have been lifelong Cowboys fans. When you look closely at his film, it's easy to see why the Cowboys made the move to get him. James is the kind of linebacker who flashes high-level traits that coaches like Matt Eberflus covet. On tape, you'll notice how comfortable he is playing downhill, filling run gaps with aggression, and slipping past blockers with well-timed rip and swim moves. In one standout play against a strong offensive line, he lined up over the B-gap, saw the running back step up to block, and executed a textbook rip move that caused the back to lose balance before closing in on the quarterback for a big sack. That's the kind of playmaking Dallas desperately needs in the middle of its defense. Someone who can not only recognize blocking schemes, but disrupt them decisively. Another rep showed James attacking a stretch play to the right, where he slipped under the climbing guard, kept his shoulders square, and met the ball carrier right at the line of scrimmage. Plays like these are proof of his physical tools and mental processing speed. At 6'1" and about 225 pounds, he may not be the biggest linebacker in the draft class, but he has the explosiveness and the twitch to cover ground quickly and finish plays with authority. His NFL combined numbers, particularly a 4.69 40-yard dash, show decent straight-line speed, but what really jumps off the screen is how he moves in live game situations, closing from the hash to the sideline to clean up a run or chase down a scrambling quarterback. One area where James consistently impressed was in his ability to pressure the quarterback and collapse pockets. You could see this in multiple clips where he blitzed from the second level, knifed between the A and B gaps, and used a blend of footwork and hand technique to break through protection. In some reps, he showed good patience, reading the quarterback's eyes before committing, which is crucial in a league where veteran signal callers will bait young defenders into abandoning their lanes. His film from Florida included sequences where he forced errant throws or pressured the quarterback into making hurried decisions, sometimes ending in incompletions or near turnovers. While James doesn't project as a high-volume sack artist, his ability to generate heat on passing downs is going to be an asset in Eberflus's aggressive defensive system. Another underrated strength is his mindset. He plays with a high motor, competing through the whistle. Whether he's on defense or special teams, a phase of the game he's embraced every season of his college career, and one that could earn him early snaps in Dallas. That said, no young linebacker enters the NFL without areas that need refinement, and James is no exception. One of the more noticeable issues on tape is his tendency to overthink certain plays, occasionally jumping out of his assigned gap when trying to anticipate the run. In a league where disciplined run fits are critical, this can create openings that smart offenses will exploit. There were a few examples of him reading a run play correctly, but hesitating just long enough to allow the offensive lineman to get into his body, effectively sealing him out of the play. When you're a linebacker, sometimes your first instinct is the one you have to trust. Another area to clean up is tackling consistency. While he recorded 64 tackles in 2024, there were several missed opportunities both between the tackles and in space plays where he'd close quickly but fail to wrap up or finish cleanly. This isn't uncommon for young linebackers transitioning to the pro level, but it's something the Cowboys coaching staff will undoubtedly emphasize during training camp. Still, for every imperfect rep, there were several that showcased why he can be such an exciting addition. In a crucial goal line sequence, James displayed excellent awareness, reading the quarterback's scramble, flipping his hips, and undercutting a poorly placed throw to secure an interception. You could see the confidence and composure as he tracked the ball and turned a broken play into a turnover, exactly the kind of momentum-shifting moment that can ignite a defense and the entire stadium. Plays like that give you a glimpse of his ceiling, especially when you imagine him in a defense with Micah Parsons flying off the edge and Trayvon Diggs locking down receivers on the back end. If James can sharpen his discipline against the run, improve his tackling, and continue developing as a blitzer and coverage defender, he has every tool to carve out a significant role. The Cowboys have assembled a linebacker room full of intriguing pieces. Kenneth Murray, arriving with experience, DeMarvion overshone returning from injury, and now Shemar James, bringing fresh energy and upside. The competition will be fierce, and nothing will be handed to him. But if there's one thing you can tell from watching his film and listening to him speak about the game, it's that he's not intimidated by the challenge. He's motivated to prove he belongs, to honor his family's lifelong passion for the star, and to show everyone in Cowboys Nation that he can be a cornerstone of the defense. So as training camp approaches and the battles for roster spots begin, keep an eye on number 30, because if he can bring the same fire and focus he showed at Florida, he's got a chance to make an impact that goes far beyond the box score.